Scarcity, let that be your best friend when it comes to women feeling that emotion. When a woman starts begging, most times it's her breaking point. So if she messed up or she keeps doing the same thing and she's now realizing, oh, this guy is done, he's not tolerating it, etc., this is the part of yes, you can go into no contact. Yes, you can front and act like portray to be not phased or gaslight you or manipulate the situation to make it be your problem, that you're the problem, I mean. However, when you're actually not, once she stops moving that way and acting that way, she can then go ahead and see with not using her egotistic mindset. Now, I say see as in like see things for more of, okay, I actually have an issue, I am the problem. So begging will now look like when she gets extremely emotional, she gets in her feelings, and then she starts feeling like she's not getting enough. Women like to be babied by men. They like to be treated as like, their princess. Obviously some women call themselves a queen, but they want their, let's say, man, their protector, their provider, the person that gives them security, to make her feel like she's feeling that with him. I want y'all to understand that this is in all aspects. So let's just throw away the common ones as far as like safety, keeping her safe, finances, that sorts of stuff, taking care of her money wise, whatever, those sorts of stuff. Let's throw it out the window for a second. So let's say if it's in the aspect of knowing that she's good with you, knowing your relationship is secured, let's compare it to a woman wanting to be married to you or wanting the marriage to still continue going on, wanting the security of knowing you're together. A lot of women do value having the title, like, you're her man, you're her boyfriend or fiance or whatever the case is. They value that. Now, I'm saying they only will value it more and end up begging for that when they're realizing it's actually not on that table any longer. That offer is not on the table. But the bigger problem is if you are still giving her any indication or she's leaving you thinking that you still view her this way, like you would want her much more than she would ever want you, etc., that's where things have to change. So sometimes y'all got to give her a harsher treatment. Some of y'all, let me give you an example of, you don't really like care about her too much, or let's say you're not too phased if she comes back, or even you believe she'll come back, but yet you still watch her story, right, on socials. But yet if she just says like, I know we're not together, but I just want to see how you're doing, or Merry Christmas or Happy New Year's, you're still down to text her, right? If you know full blown she messed up, you have to allow her to feel scarcity of knowing that, dang, I don't want to leave this last impression of him believing that I am the one that has messed things up. Now, another thing I want to say also, oh wait, before I continue on, actually, don't forget about Patreon. Shout out to all the new people, and of course, shout out to all the people that have been subscribed. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all for that. If you want to be a part of the free community on Patreon and get one exclusive video plus more, sometimes you can by clicking the link down below. And there's already 250 plus content you could catch up on Patreon. And if you're not on Patreon, you can definitely check it out on YouTube membership. And now, of course, consultations for your case, scenario, situation, however you want to figure out how to go about it. You want to plan, you want to know how to execute it, you want to know how to handle whatever the situation may be with her or other areas in your life where your goals, your desires are actually being fulfilled. That is where I come in, and that's where consultations are available in different options in different ways. With that being said, when you book, of course, I hope you're ready to talk about all the important stuff that I have to know. It's your chance to say it all, of course, and that also just means consultations are, of course, about you. I'm here to support y'all. So once more, you want to book it, figure out how to go about it, and want to get real results, you can go ahead and get that link down below now, or click the link down below. Now back to what I was saying. The other thing I actually wanted to say is when she's also begging you, remember there's a lot happening behind the scenes. Something that I really tell people during consultations, especially when they tell me about the friend that's the cockblocker, or the friend that's always been not helping the relationship out for the both of y'all, the one that is too much in her head, too controlling, all sorts of stuff, right? And so what she will do is cry and beg behind the scenes to her friend, like, hey, I miss him, or I really want to talk to him. And then, oh, like, maybe I should reach out, all sorts of stuff. And then there's always going to be that friend pulling her away from that. And so when I was talking about in the beginning how she needs to see things clearly and now come to the realization, like, hey, you know what, ditch the friend, forget what the friend says, and now go and get your man back or get that man back is when she can now take actions. And of course, that's in the physical sense, because then you will see at that point she comes back around, putting in the effort to show that she is about you, she is wanting you. Now, another thing that I want to mention and be clear on is don't be caught up on time ever. Like, this rule applies to anything. Yes, you're not waiting around. And yes, sometimes it's just like, oh, I would have thought it would be sooner. Or do I have to make this longer? Do it longer. Just think about more of like, did you give her the impression that you're done, you're uninterested, you're turned off, you don't want no intimacy, you don't want to be around her? And in any of those questions that I just asked you, actually, and that's a question that you could answer down below if you would like, but and also let your stories be known, or if you have you want me to do part 2s, all that stuff, let me know. But what I was saying is that if any of those answers to those questions that I asked came back as no, any of them, even one, then there's an issue of where you're lacking and where you're not getting her to beg because of that lack. In other words, you got to do better. You have to take the accountability to be like, did I show her that I'm still interested? Did I keep enabling, or did I initiate, or did I respond and I didn't say as much as I would, but I still respond? Like, those little things that you might think is minor or not a big deal, sometimes it is. Or more often than not, it is. And it also means that you have to understand, for your own sake, why even go back and forth? You have to question yourself to be like, dang, have I been putting too much effort in? Have I been trying too hard with her? Do I show way too much interest with her? All of these can be a concern, because if you have, or you do so, this just goes right back to her realizing with you it's too easy. And the begging, of course, is a question that is not going to be there. No question, no doubt, it is not going to be there. So remember, let her go into that inner emotions that she has, tap into the femininity, and be fully aware that it does bother her, it does hurt, and now she has to work to get you back. She does need to realize that she did lose someone good. She does have to realize that if she's coming back around, she needs to come correct. There is none of this, okay, like, you want me to just say that you don't need no discipline or consequences. You want me to just take you back, and all sorts of stuff. All of that is not acceptable. And again, your standards and value and expectations will always matter, because if you show that you're lessening it, or there's any budging to it, then it can't be respected. Remember, when you're trying to get respected, it's in all areas. It can't just be in one. Yeah, as I said, she could feel secured in one area, but if there's a lack, and there's also the idea of, if there's a lack in other areas, it could be more crucial than in one particular area. In other words, don't let it be where it's your emotions where you're not getting respected in. Like, she doesn't think you have the emotional strength to be apart. Stand up for yourself, not put up with it, be done with her. Like, you have to show you have the emotional capability of doing what it is and holding off until you have to, for your own sake, for your own benefit. Okay, so much more to talk about. I'll elaborate in my other videos, and per usual, like, take care of yourself. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all very much soon. Bye, y'all.